Good Morning Football. Happy Monday, everybody. We've got Peter Schrager with us, of course, who's coming off a great weekend. I was listening before we got on the air, but we're here to talk about the NFL football and headlines. But, of course, Nate's got the Bulls situation going on. Kyle, I got to ask you, finale of The Last Dance. Do you have anything for show and tell this morning?
Sure. 1990, the year of our Lord. My dad, Bob Brandt, drove me over from Lincolnshire, my town, to Deerfield, Illinois, to the multiplex where the Bulls practiced. I stood outside the security gate with a marker and a basketball, saw Horace drive by, saw Cartwright drive by, and when I saw the black Ferrari, I flagged it down. Jordan stopped, smiled, and signed. This says, if you can see it, to Kyle, Michael Jordan. I have now had it for 30 years. He was my God. I wept last night as the Pearl Jam kicked in and they burned Michael Jordan's poem, an unbelievable, epic poem for the last several Sunday nights, my friends.
And that is an epic signature, Kyle. We love that. We appreciate that. Last night was the finale of The Last Dance, but this is not our last show, so let's get right to it. What we have today is a special GMFB. We're going to talk Rob Gronkowski turning 30 years old. Is that going to change Rob Gronkowski's party ways? We're going to dive into that and more with a round of Trend of the World that always gets fun. And Devin McCourty, one of our favorite guys in the league, says losing Tom Brady won't be the end of the world for the Patriots. Big deal or no big deal? Oh, yeah, we got thoughts on this. Plus, we are going to take a deep dive, how about a deeper dive, as my guy Schrags would say, into the NFC East and name that rookie. A lot of fun stuff and more, so don't you go anywhere, which I know you can't. You are in isolation with us, and we appreciate you for that.
Love you guys hanging out with us. Great job, Nate. Like your outfit today. We're ready to go. Here's the first lead block.
Lead block. Lead block.
Lead block.
And we don't start in Chicago. No. We start with their nemesis in the NFC North, the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers on Friday held his very first press conference since the Green Bay Packers, of course, made the decision to draft Jordan Love, the successor up there with the 26th overall pick. So he was asked, of course, what he thought. He said, I was surprised, meaning he didn't see the pick coming. And then all the reporters were asking him to clarify what he meant by surprise, like surprised that it was a quarterback, or simply surprised the Packers didn't draft an OW, an offensive weapon, to help him get further in the NFC this year. Well, here's his response.
I think it's more, it was more the surprise of the pick based on my own feelings of wanting to play into my 40s, and then really the realization that it does change the controllables a little bit, because as much as, I feel confident in my abilities and what I can accomplish and what we can accomplish, there are some new factors that are out of my control. And so my, sincere desire to start and finish with the same organization, just as it has with many other players over the years, may not be a reality at this point. And as much as I understand the organization's future outlook and wanting to make sure they're thinking about the team now and down the line, and I respect that. At the same time, I still believe in myself and have a strong desire to play into my 40s, and I'm just not sure how that all works together at this point.
That was one of the last things, guys, that he said during his media availability. Kyle, he did what I wanted him to do. He gave us nothing. He was not snarky. He did not tell us maybe how he really feels. Maybe he does really feel that way, but we can't really run anywhere with this. What did you make of his press conference?
Riveting. Loved it. Lived up to it, because with Rodgers, it's never on the surface. Now, let's remember, he's had a couple weeks of a cooling period to just calm down. I think what we got from Rodgers was muted honesty and veiled anger. You take everything he says and you kind of crank it up 6 notches. I think it is really how he feels. For example, I think when he says he was surprised, I think it means he fell off the couch. I think it means he was shocked. When he says he was, quote, and this is a beautiful quote, not thrilled, I think he threw the remote against the wall. I think he was furious. When he says it changes the controllables, it says it flips the table on my entire career and life plan. And most importantly, when he said, what I can control is how I play, making the decision to move on a hard one. That means Dracarys. That means I'm going to rain fire from the sky. You want to make it a hard one? You guys want to get rid of a first-team All-Pro? You want to get rid of a quarterback who just took you to the Super Bowl? I think this opens a whole new can of worms. My entire life mission now is to make this a hard decision, an impossible decision. It comes full circle for him. 15 years after he sat there, it's like Aaron Rodgers has a new vendetta against the NFL draft. He can't shake this thing. I think there was a lot of heat right below the surface with him. He calms you in with that little Aaron Rodgers voice where he says, it's fine, it's beyond. No. Get ready. Dracarys, my friends.
I'm with Kyle. I thought he was refreshingly honest. There was candor. That was a 38-minute press conference, and every single answer, he was thoughtful, he was honest, he was open, but he did not torch the franchise, which is such a hard plane to land. You know he was burning inside, but you also know he's got enough respect for his teammates and for those colors in Green Bay. I thought the quote that took it away was the one we played. I want to say it again. There are some new factors that are out of my control, and so my desire to start and finish with the same organization, just as it has always been, and for many other players over the years, may not be a reality at this point. If that doesn't open your eyes on a Friday afternoon, that is the opposite of a Friday afternoon news dump, I'll tell you. And I just appreciate the candor, because it is so taboo right now for these quarterbacks to give anything away and to even potentially cause problems for the franchise. They're highly paid individuals. They want no drama. They just want to be able to steer the ship and enjoy going back to their mansion and being happy. I think Rodgers said enough where, like Kyle said, we can infer that there's some unhappiness, but he didn't do it in such a way where he burned the bridges behind him. I find this to be a fantastic handling of the media, but I also find it hard, to your point, Kay, on a Monday morning to be worked up and say, wow, hot take this, hot take that. He was honest. He was real. Do you know how hard that is to be after the last 3 weeks of everyone speculating around you? I thought Rodgers was fantastic, and I still feel like Rodgers is going to be the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers into his 40s.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Shregs. We're all saying the same thing. I felt like he was slightly measured, but he was very transparent. He was very honest, and he was very real. In a day where we like to see our athletes take the politically correct approach, and you don't say anything that's going to upset the fans or your teammates, the organization, or even the coaching staff. I feel like he was embracing a quote that I heard a long time ago when it came to the draft. There was one of my OGs on the Minnesota Vikings who came to me right before the first draft as I watched, and he said, don't blame the team for disappointing you if you're expecting them to pick certain guys. Just blame yourself for having the wrong expectations. And I think that's where Aaron Rodgers felt he was in. He was in that space where he couldn't control the outcome. He couldn't control who they selected. So now you almost have to manage your expectations moving forward when it comes to whatever they're going to do with draft picks or even free agency. All he can control is what he does on the field. And that's what he said. He said, I want to be here. I want to play quarterback till my 40s, so I feel like I still have a lot more football left. You know, this is a time where we sit back and we're going to nitpick everything that our superstar says, and I feel like Aaron Rodgers, he understood we were all listening, and he gave us exactly what we wanted, and I can appreciate that.
And we're going to keep talking about this, of course. And like Nate says, let's dig a little bit deeper, shall we? Aaron Rodgers has been on our show, of course. It was a couple of years back. In 2018, he was there while we were at the Super Bowl 52, I believe, the Patriots-Eagles. And we asked him to reflect on Tom Brady and his longevity. Take a listen to his response.
So what he's done with his body, really from kind of where I'm at now, 34, to where he's at 40 the last 6 years, he's transformed his game. I tease him from time to time. I think he's more athletic in and out of the pocket now. He's running more.
Yeah,
you know, he's moving up in the pocket. He's getting out to throw. He's extending plays, which he really didn't do a lot early in his career. It's a testament to his work ethic and the way he takes care of himself, which obviously with his new book out, you know, he's kind of letting some of the secrets out a little bit. But he knows, you know, he's played a long time. And I think he wants to keep playing, you know, 43, 44, 45. Now with Jimmy G out in San Fran, I think, you know, it's kind of paved the way for him to keep on going.
Do you have the book? Have you looked at the book?
I got a signed copy, yeah.
Oh, you did? Right. Would you like to play it to 43, 44?
I'm going to let him set the bar and then try and go match that.
I like that.
That's awesome.
So his message has been consistent. He wants to play into